In this episode, I talk about the things that I hated being in the Outlaw Motorcycle Club. I'm also going to talk about the things that other people hate that I actually love, and this will be helpful to people that are new to the culture, that are thinking about joining an Outlaw MC or a regular motorcycle club, and we get into it on this episode of Demons Row TV. And oh yeah, we ghosting, baby. Big shout to the ghosts and the ghostettes. Welcome to Demons Row TV, the holy grail of MC culture, where we cover everything motorcycle and motorcycle club involved. I'm Sose the Ghost. I'm your host for the evening, and today I'm going to keep it real, and I'm going to tell you experiences and stories of situations of things that I hated about being in the Outlaw Motorcycle Club. There are pros and cons to everything. When you're in that process of thinking about doing something, do all the research possible before you jump into that situation. And when you start hanging around with this motorcycle club or this Outlaw Motorcycle Club, don't just jump the gun just because there's that, what I like to call honeymoon period, where in the beginning everything is love. Like when you meet a new girlfriend and she's hot and you love her, but then a couple of months later you're arguing all the time and there's certain things about her that you hate. An Outlaw Motorcycle Club could be the same way. People have a way of hiding their true colors for whatever reason. If they're a respectable club, you're gonna see who they are from the gate. But there's a lot of shit shows out here, and believe it or not, it's just in a man's nature for someone to want to be the king of the jungle, and this is where everything falters. One thing that I hated about MCs is how quickly brothers turn. On a small level, you have brothers that would be disrespectful to a brother, call him out, want to fight him over, small fry stuff. Why are you trying to prove yourself to your brothers by being extra gangster with one of your own brothers? If you have that one brother that keeps flexing on other brothers, he has to be the tough guy in every situation. But when you go out to places and there's other clubs, that energy is not the same. He only directs the energy inward. He's a cancer in your club, and you got to get rid of that cancer. There are so many clubs out there that got that one dude that if they just get rid of him, everything would run so smooth. Let me know in the comments if you experience this. Like, that if this one brother would just fall back a little bit, everything would be much better. I also hate when one person rises in power and they have it in for somebody and they get them out the club for whatever reason. It might just be political. They didn't do anything per se wrong, and then they make it where like people are wrong for staying cool with their brother, but he did nothing wrong, stole nothing, slept with nobody's old lady. It's just a political push out. I hate that about MCs. Now let's flip the other side. Something that I love that a lot of people hate. Let me know in the comments if you're one of the people that hate this. But prospecting, I know a lot of people that really have it in their heart that they're minimizing themselves to prospect, and I strongly disagree. I had so much fun as a prospect. I think it's more fun than when you're a regular member. I think people, their ego robs them of a good time and learning, because when you're a prospect, when you mess up, it's not your fault because you're a prospect. You're not supposed to know. When you're a fully patched member, you're supposed to know. Now it falls on you. And I know some great brothers that have been in big 4 1% clubs that just hate prospecting, and I don't understand that. I like to feel like nobody could say that I didn't earn it or that it was given to me for free. Like, I think that's important in life. This instant gratification world that we live in right now, it doesn't fly in MC culture, but it's changing. To be honest, a lot of clubs is fully patching anybody just so they have more people paying dues and clubhouses stay open. Now I'm gonna be honest with you, the number one thing that I hated about being in the Outlaw Motorcycle Club was the mandatories. And listen, sometimes you gotta work. A lot of clubs are like work, family, club, and then they don't abide by that. It's like, yo, there's an event going on, we need you there. And if it's something that it's like your brothers need you, then you drop everything and run. But if it's just to go hang out at an annual or something like that and you gotta work, brothers gotta understand that. And to me, one of the fake things that a lot of clubs do, a lot of outlaw clubs, regular motorcycle clubs, is if you're not at every event, they start to act like you're not a brother. It's almost like your brotherhood is matched by how many events you made it to. There's times where you go to everything and everybody loves you, but then you're more busy with work, and then you have a couple events you don't go to and you see it's not the same love. The energy is different. I know situations with brothers that will go to their club and say, look, I have issues on the street, this and this happened, and their brothers will tell them, you haven't came to enough club events lately. That's not a club issue. That's separate from the club. I never respected that. Like, your brother is your brother. Whether he's every single event or if he missed a couple, people that just have kids, they just don't understand. They're so on there like robot, political, you know, and that is a big downfall right there. That is not brotherhood. You need to ask your brother what's going on with him. If you're one of those people that do that, really ask yourself, like, why are you in a club if you have a solitary mind state? Why is it about how many events you go? Isn't it about the character, what type of brother it is? Now, if you just don't go to anything, then you're out of pocket. But if it's a person that tries and there's certain stuff that goes on sometimes, they got kids, whatever's going on, as a brother, you should have their back, not be on their back. Another thing that I don't like, that I've seen a lot of MCs do this, when a brother goes down, everybody's, you know, praying for them at the hospital, we love you, all that. Couple months go by, a brother's recuperating. They start asking them when they're gonna get a bite. That's one thing that if I hear it, I'm jumping on. Let the person rehab a little bit before you start asking them when they're gonna jump back on tools. You don't know what kind of surgeries they're having. You don't know what they got going on. So to just focus on when they get their bike is basically saying, like, I don't care about your leg or your arm or whatever you got going on. You need to have a bike. Now, understand, in an MC, you gotta have a bike. But then you'll have members that don't have a bike for long periods of time, but they're cool with the politically correct and they're okay. But somebody that goes down is getting pressure on them about actually not having a motorcycle when they went down and destroyed their bike. Another thing that I don't hate, but at times when I wasn't doing well, dues. Something that a lot of people hate. And some people, when they're doing better, they're like, oh, it's just 50, it's just 100. Depending on what your club is. Some clubs, it's a lot of money. Some people really are struggling, and, you know, people look down on brothers for not having the money. And I get it, you know what I'm saying? And this is why I say, if you're gonna open a clubhouse, your chapter has to be set up where you have enough people and you're not relying on just dues alone to keep the clubhouse running. The ultimate thing that I hate about outlaw motorcycle clubs is the politics, is the usurping, is the people that want to be a president so badly that they'll stab every brother in the back. They'll walk around with a brotherhood patch and know zero about brotherhood. It makes no sense to me how any club would have members that walk around with loyalty patches and patches that say that you have honor and you have stabbed everyone in the back to get to the position where you at in your club. And that brings me into this topic. I did a hack called Ride More, Politic Less. And people don't understand what I mean by that. When I say ride more, politic less, it doesn't have anything to do with Trump or the Democrats. What ride more, politic less means is ride your bike and stop talking behind your brother's back. Stop stabbing your brother in the back to become a president, to rise up to be a sergeant of arms. That's what ride more, politic less means. They have clubs right now on federal databases all over the internet. All the clubs, they have their patches there. They're saying what they consider them. We are 2 steps away from MCs being accused of being in a terrorist type group. When I post on TikTok, I have been banned 3 times in the past 2 weeks, 3 5-day bans. And they say extremism, like talking about a club to them is almost like terrorism. They're starting to categorize MCs. That's why they keep promoting everything that happens on the news. There's all kind of crime that happens, but when it's with clubs, it gets magnified. That's why I really try to stay away from the news. If you watch Demons Row, I'm not constantly pounding the news because I know their narratives and I don't want to help with my platform to further push it. So I'll talk about stuff here and there that I realize is not right and people need to know what's going on, but there's so much going on in the news on a daily basis, I can't even keep up with it. But if you're thinking about joining an outlaw motorcycle club, just make sure that you know in your heart this is what you want. It is a big commitment and it becomes like an everyday thing depending on the club, and you got to know if you built for it. And being built for it is not about being tough. A lot of people say to me, I'm a true 1%er and I should be able to wear the patch because I'm real, because I would never let somebody disrespect me. And you have to understand, being a 1%er means you joined an outlaw motorcycle club and prospected and earned a diamond patch. That's what a 1%er is. You need to categorize yourself differently. Outlaw biker, you know, something like that. And that's no disrespect to anybody that keeps it real, but that's what a 1% is. Somebody that earned that 1% diamond. Get your Ghostaveli Mask now. They're on www.demonsroad.com. Follow us on TikTok at Sose the Ghost on TikTok. We're going live almost every night now, and we are having so much fun. So join in on the fun. I got another video called Patches Outlaw Motorcycle Clubs will take from you. Don't do it. It'll be linked above. And thank you for tuning in to Demons Road TV, the holy grail of MC culture. Like, subscribe, and comment. And oh yeah, we ghosting, baby.